Hello, Sarah.
How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Good.
Good. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, um,
It's great to have you here.
I'm excited.
It was really interesting when I checked out my Instagram one morning a few weeks ago and I saw you and your sister and what you do, and I just immediately felt like compelled. I needed to know you immediately. And I think it was the quickest I ever connected with anybody. I think within 15 minutes we were talking to each other.
Yeah, we were. It
That was that was
was
pretty
fast.
wild. Yeah, yeah. You're just an incredibly special woman, and what you and your husband and your kids too, because your kids help out too, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll learn more about that, but just what you do for your sister is incredible. And so I'd love to just know more about you, Sarah, the person first, and then we can get into, your
All the
your
other
life.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, with Ray. So a little bit about your background be great.
All right. So I knew that I wanted to be a nurse the minute Ray was born. We were 7 years apart in age, but in high school, I got my CNA license and I worked for nursing homes and other families with disabled kids. And then I got my RN license and I worked in a children's ER for a long time, was a charge nurse there. And then I traveled to New York, did the COVID crisis in the Bronx. I've worked at Fort Bragg as a federal nurse in the ER there. And then I've taken over Ray. So I've always done the ER, but but my whole goal in life has always been to someday be Rachel's nurse. But you have to be a nurse before you can just take on Ray, because someday when she leaves, you still have to have a life after that, a career or something. But my nursing experience has truly made me a better person to care for Ray because of what I know and what I can do.
Yeah, I would think so. I think so. I would think the situations that come up really don't end up surprising you as much and you're more prepared, probably, right?
Oh yeah, especially
Yeah.
all the hospitalizations that she goes through. I know what to do, how to advocate for her, how to, ensure that she gets what she needs because I have the knowledge to aid her.
Were you close? I mean, what's the age difference between you and Ray?
We're 7 years apart.
7 years apart. So what was your experience as a little girl with her? And what was this? It seemed to be like this driving passion. As you say, you wanted to just end up taking care of her for her life. And how did that all kind of happen? What was your relationship like as when you were kids?
Well, definitely I didn't have a normal childhood because of, Rachel's, her syndrome and the needs that she required. Our home was like a hospital. She wore oxygen. We always had nurses in and out. Um, but I saw Ray when she was born. There's a connection. I just loved her. There's just something about her. I just fell in love with her immediately. And I've always
So cool.
just, I mean, I didn't hang out with my friends a lot, or I always wanted to be home with my sister and help my parents. It sounds crazy, but I truly just have this passion for this girl. She was like my best friend. But as a kid, I helped my mom with the caring of Ray. But there's also, I guess, a lot of traumatic experiences as a kid too. She choked a lot. We had to call 911 a lot. I've seen my sister be pretty much dead and waiting for EMS to come because she's blue choking. And so but I thrived in those situations, whereas my middle sister, I would say has PTSD from it. She needed to go to counseling, and her relationship with Ray is not anywhere like what I have with Ray. So I think people will see having a special needs sister or brother either benefits you or it changes you, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it's a special calling, right? I mean, everybody, it's not for everyone. So, and
No, it's not.
there's no good or bad, right or wrong about that. It's just some people have the
No.
calling and can manage it, and
Yeah.
obviously that's continued throughout your adult life because you became a nurse and in emergency rooms, and so like really hardcore situations are coming up and traumatic situations are coming up, and you seem to be like pretty steady since you were a kid about the whole thing.
Oh, I thrive in those situations. And I'm someday it'll probably all come back and haunt me maybe. And in terms of when Rachel's gone, then I will probably suffer at that point. Suffering as I don't feel like I've ever suffered as a kid, or I suffer now because of, the care I have to provide. Whereas my sister's a little different than me. She is kind of taken back by it and doesn't really have a relationship with Ray
Yeah.
because it took a toll on her. It'll take a toll on me someday when Rachel's gone because my passion has been her this whole time.
Right. You'll have to kind of rewrite your
rewrite
life's goals
my
at that point,
story a
right?
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Are you somehow preparing yourself for that in any way, or is it just too much in the moment? You don't have an opportunity to kind of think about that stuff.
I mean, I always know that there's, she's not going to live forever. And like God has been so good to give us all this time with her. She turns 32 on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gonna have a party?
So, yeah, we're going to
Oh yeah.
celebrate her. For her 30th, we took her to Disney World because at 15, she was on a Make-A-Wish trip in Disney World. So, if she makes it to 35, we'll go back to Disney. She loves Disney, so.
Awesome. Yeah, that's wonderful. So the disorder, it's a genetic disorder, correct?
Yeah,
Could
so
you
it's a
could you talk about it a little bit, what it's called and what it is?
yeah.
Like explain it a little bit. Thanks.
So it's called a Cornelia de Lange syndrome. A short term is that they call it CDLS. So it's a chromosome condition with a certain gene mutation that will change. There's like 5 or 6 genes that they now have found. When Rachel was first diagnosed, it was so new still. It's a rare syndrome. It's only like 1 in 10,000 people are diagnosed. I think that even the numbers are up to 1 to 30,000. So, but it's similar to like how Down's kids all look alike. So all CDLS kids all look alike. So they have eyebrows that will meet in the middle. They have the short upturned noses. There's small features, excessive hair. Some will have missing limbs. So Rachel has the missing limbs. And then it goes into categories of like mild to severe. So Rachel's more severe because she has the other complexes of nonverbal. She has GI issues, heart issues, respiratory issues, where other kids can be mild and they just might have the look and features, but they can talk and they can eat and they can do all the other things.
Yeah, because I was looking up, some information about it, and life expectancy seemed to be just an average life expectancy unless there were certain conditions that, so it sounds like hers is a little bit more severe, and perhaps then the life expectancy is a little more questionable at this point.
Yeah. So like when she was born, day one, they didn't expect her to live. So my parents had signed like a DNR because they were told like she's not going to make it through this day. And then the girl made it, and then they gave her the diagnosis of CDLS. So then they gave her a year after that to survive. And then she's defies the odds because, again, it's not their time, it's God's timing on her. She's like, I'm going to live my life. So then they gave her an expectancy of 10. Like they said, 10 will be that's it. And the girl made it past 10, went on her Make-A-Wish trip at 15. She turned 21. She turned 30. She'll be 32 on May 19th. It's like, I don't think they can really give a prognosis because you don't know them. Now,
Right.
the older she gets, the more care she requires and the more it's harder on her. So for like CDLS kids, the thing that gets them that will like kill them in the end is usually like aspiration pneumonia or GI issues.
Okay, I was reading about that. Okay. And don't discount to the love that you give her and a
Oh
reason
yeah.
to live, right? So, when she's being taken care of and so loved by you, and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
I'm assuming your mom had the same kind of passion for her, right? So she was raised under that kind of umbrella of that love and acceptance, and being embraced like that gives you a reason to live, right?
Oh yeah. Love is medicine. And if you don't have a loving environment, you will not thrive. Like failure to thrive is a true concept.
Hmm.
And people need that feeling and that connection to like have a reason to like.
Right, right. And you were fortunate enough to meet a man that you married who seems to have a passion for her as well. How
That's
did
a
that happen?
rarity. That's a rarity because my husband is an Army veteran. And it's funny when I met him because I was like, this girl is my passion. And he had never had any experiences with special needs people. Whereas I'm like, I love all the special needs people. And so we met her and he was like, wow, it's intimidating at first because it's a lot to take in,
Yeah,
a
sure.
lot. And then, but
Just looking
Rachel,
at your home, just the images of your home. I mean, it's like
oh,
it
it's
is a
crazy.
hospital,
It is a
basically.
hospital. It's Rachel's home.
Rachel's home, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Rachel grows on you, and when you are around her, you just like she's happy every day. And so when I look at that, I'm like, we should all be happy every day because
Right.
she's got all these things wrong with her, but yet she wakes up with a smile on her face every morning. And so she grows on you. And so to find somebody that's so humble enough to like change diapers and feed her and do all these things is like pretty incredible because there's not a lot of people that do it. It's not normal for family members to take on the full-time care of people. It's not a norm, but for people to do it, it's incredible. So, but yeah, he's been inspired, and so now he's halfway through nursing school and wants to
Really?
his yeah, he's halfway through nursing school. He wants to give back, and he says like he was a killer from being an army veteran. You know, he did all of the hardcore whatever he did, and
Hmm.
now it's like a 360, and he wants to help and care instead of, it's like the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine, I could only imagine seeing the other side and then being drawn to do something that you want to kind of heal and help grow and nurture
Yeah,
after that kind of experience. Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, and as you said, it's not common. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but it's not common for a sibling to want to take over the care of their sister or brother or their siblings. So, are your parents still around, or
Hmm.
they are?
Yeah,
So, do you live near each other? Is there any kind of, do they still contribute to the care, or is it really more full-time you?
I'm 100% just full
So
time
you.
me. But my parents are around. We have a great relationship with them. We actually live like a pasture away from them. But
You're in
me take
Texas, correct, right?
I'm in Texas, so
Okay.
we live on a ranch. So a
Okay.
pasture is like
Right, yeah.
where our cows are.
It's
That's
not the vernacular here in New York.
It's not the vernacular, no. But me taking over for Ray allowed them to live life and be retired and just enjoy each other. And it's really cool to see how happy they are and how like it is like amazing it is that they're enjoying each other and they're just able to live a little more independently because Rachel's not a burden, but she limits what you can do. And so we had in-home nursing care, and then they did like the last 5 years of her care full time. But she's like a retirement baby, so it's hard to get things done around the house. And if you go out, it takes a lot of work to take her out. So it's just good for them to kind of have that independence now.
It's amazing. I mean, you don't find a lot of people that go, I'm going to sacrifice my life, but in a way, but it's not a sacrifice for you. It seems like this is what you want to do. And that's, for people listening in, it's like people thinking probably, oh, how could you do that? But this is what you want. And why not, right? You deserve to have
I
what
mean,
you want.
yeah, I mean, I think it's a sacrifice, sure, because my whole family has to give up things. But Rachel's just like a part of our family. She fits in so great. And I mean, when I say like I think it's easy taking care of Ray, but from like your perspective, you would be like, that's a lot of work. And it is a lot of work, but for me it's just easy. And when I like spend my days with her, it's like we're just two sisters hanging out, living
Yeah,
life.
it's cool.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Right. It's cool because everybody has the right to just be accepted for who they are. And
Hmm.
that's exactly what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. It's so amazing. Um, where do you want to go from here? So many
It's a
directions we
lot.
could go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to talk about specifically before I ask any other questions about your experience with Ray and maybe like what's your daily life like with Ray?
Rachel gets my time 100%. So I get up, I take my kids to school. Rachel has a special room in our house where she gets locked in at night because
Does
she'll
she try to
wander.
escape? She
Yeah.
does.
So you have to keep her safe. And her room is just a small space that has just what she needs in it. But she's usually asleep, and the schools are like 5 minutes away. So she's locked in and then when she gets up, it's feedings, it's meds, it's waters, it's changing, it's bathing, it's playing. It's just, she requires respiratory assistance. So she wears this TPT vest for 30 minutes. We battle it, but
Yeah, she doesn't like it.
so, I mean, my day is 100% like to the needs of, dependence of Ray on me. But I mean, some days it's tiring. I'm not going to lie. It can be tiring, especially because like last night, she was up late and like not feeling very good. So then I'm up late. So then when I get started the next morning, I'm just a little more tired. So
Sure.
that's
Gotcha.
that's how the tiredness affects you. But um, I mean, it's a lot of work, but again, I have fun with her during the day. And I sit and I talk to her like she's normal. And she'll probably someday in heaven tell me like, "You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy." But I mean, she loves like participating in my girls' lives. She loves to go pick them up from school. She loves to go to their concerts and their track meets and their soccer. Like she thrives on being in their
Being
lives
involved
too.
in that. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about your daughters a little bit as far as their interaction with Ray and the connection that they have, and how do you manage to find the time to be the mom that can serve all of it?
It's a lot. My oldest is 14. She will be starting high school next year. And she's an incredible track star. Um, she's sweet. She loves Ray, but she's got a teenage mindset. She's living her own life, trying to find her
Yeah.
way. My youngest is 12, and she will be in seventh grade next year. And she loves Ray like I love Ray. And she is always helping. She'll babysit for an hour while we go to the gym or do something. But she's incredible. And I'm not saying my older daughter's not. She's just a teenager. And I don't
Yeah.
blame her.
Right.
I don't expect them to have to do anything. I want them to want to do it. But I think that having Rachel and teaching them about Ray and has shown them a perspective that it's okay to be different. It's okay to, it costs nothing to be kind. You should be kind and you need to love and accept others for who they are. And that they've learned that lesson. I learned it as a kid. They're
Yeah.
learning it too.
That's an amazing gift that Rachel can give to everyone.
It is.
Right.
That's like her purpose in life.
Yeah.
She teaches
Yeah.
us something.
Right. How does she communicate to you? I mean, she's not able to use devices, right?
Mm-mm.
Or does she use device? No. Okay.
They tried those in like school when she was little, but she doesn't have the cognitive ability to like to
To track,
find,
even like with eye trackers and things like that, and be able to understand contextually and
yeah,
conceptually things.
yeah.
How long was she in school? Did she go
So
through all through 12 years of school, or up to 21? She did.
yep, she did that up to 21. So she was in like the special needs program in school all the way up through her senior year. She graduated and then stayed in until she was 21. And then there's a adult day program that opened up, and we lived in Colorado at the time. And she went to this adult day program because after they turn 21, there's really not much for them unless they
Anywhere.
go anywhere. So
Yeah.
she went to this adult day program, and it was for high school kids up to any adult age. Um, they would go on field trips and like, it was a center for just their daily activities and stuff. And I ended up working there when I was pregnant with my second child. And it was like, I was like their nurse for like a year. And it was a phenomenal place to work. They're like incredible clients there. It's amazing. So that's what she did. But those adult day programs don't really benefit Ray because she can't do anything, if that makes sense. So she's not with, because they group them into like A, B, C, and D categories. So A and B are like your autism downs, high functioning individuals that can go out and do Meals on Wheels and work service projects in the community. Where like your C and D clients are more CP and dependent. They require feeding. And so Rachel would go on some field trips if I was there because she doesn't wear a seatbelt in the car. She fights that. Yeah, she doesn't like the restraint. So I would have to be present with her. And we did a couple field trips, but she likes being around others. But we stopped taking her there just because, state funding, and then, she's not, it's not benefiting her, and they didn't have the care to like have one-on-one for her. So
Yeah, that's the question I want to ask. What kind of attention was she getting? Because the social component, she loves people, so that's a benefit
That is a
right
benefit.
there. But that's another question I wanted to ask you about funding and the support that you get in Texas. And so the funding is difficult to get. How do you even manage all the supplies that you need in your home? How do you get that? What's that process like?
It's a battle. So, like, I get paid through the state for like a program where you either pay like a nursing home or not a nursing home, a nursing agency to come in. But instead of
Hmm.
having that, I get paid from the state but I only can have 40 hours a week. Um,
They
and
limit
then
it to 40 hours? Okay.
even though it's 24/7.
Of course. Yeah,
But
right.
I mean, again,
Yeah.
I don't do it for the money. I just do it because
Of course not, but you have to survive. So
yeah,
yes,
we have to
right?
survive.
Right.
And then like her supplies are through Medicaid and Medicare, but it's always a battle. They want to like deny everything. A lot of it comes out of pocket. So we have to pay for like overnight diapers out of pocket. They just denied her G-tube buttons and they want like a new doctor's order, even though she's had it for 32 years.
Oh my goodness.
And so you just like, it's a constant battle. And
Yeah. It's always an uphill fight.
it is an uphill fight. And that's like one of the reasons I wanted to start my nonprofit was because it's respite for like, I want it to be respite for others, but also for Ray because it's relief. That's what the purpose of respite is. And so I have to have a future for Ray that's like not dependent on my parents. I have to be able to sustain and keep her
Hmm.
um, functioning by being able to have what she requires. And it's an expensive, taking her on is an expensive task because granted, I make a paycheck, but my paycheck goes towards caring for Ray
Right.
and
Right.
her costs and her needs. And so
And with the auspice of potential cuts to Medicaid and Medicare, I mean,
oh, it's crazy.
it's got to be a little terrifying, right? At this
Oh, it
point.
is. Yeah, because I mean, like these individuals require more the older they get, and it's like they want, and some of it's like life-saving measures. Like
Hmm.
I had to battle to get her CPT vest, and that helps clear the secretions from her lungs. And she had been discharged from pneumonia, and they were going to have the vest for me, but it took a month to get it, so I had to manually percuss her back every day
Holy cow.
when it was something that she required, and it was like,
Right.
you know,
And she could,
there's no
and she could have died if you had not done that.
yeah, because like she can't
Good
cough
grief.
up herself.
Yeah.
She can't clear the mucus from her lungs.
Hmm.
She requires a suction machine. And then you battle that, and they're like, well, why does she need the suctioning? Well, because she can't excrete any secretions.
Right. Right. Yeah, it seems like I mean, it is. The reality is there's a lot of services when you're in school, but once you graduate, wane and funding wanes.
They do wane. And
Yeah.
I think another thing is like for all these special needs individuals, for Children's Hospital, you can stay in Children's until you're 26. But the minute you're 26 or after you turn 26, you go into the adult hospitals, right?
Hmm.
And I think the problem with that is that these kids and these adults are living longer. And so that
Right.
people don't know how to care for them.
Hmm.
Rachel's been hospitalized 7 times this past year, and nobody knows what to do with her. They look at a chart and they see like 31-year-old female with pneumonia, but she's not a 31-year-old female. She's a pediatric patient. And I'll have doctors come in and say, like, why is she missing her arms? Or, they just,
They don't know. They just don't know the
they
history
don't
of them.
know. They don't know history. And then they don't know how to properly treat her. So that's where, like, I advocate and have to intervene and, like, and I do all the care for her in the hospital.
Really.
But that's like, well, yeah, it's terrible.
Well, it is. I mean, there really realistically should be a database where everybody's in the database, so like a doctor can call up the person's situation immediately and know that, right? I mean,
How to treat them or
how to
how
treat
to,
them exactly, and what their existing situation is,
mhm,
who they are entering the hospital.
yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
think that a job I would take on someday would be like a disability advocate for the hospital where you
Hmm.
advocate for them because like for Rachel, she's a hard IV stick. She's a foot stick because she's missing limbs. And they're like terrified to stick her. So they want to put in a central line. Well, that's a harsh intervention. and she can't
Hmm.
handle that. So I
Right.
end up always putting the IV in her foot.
Hmm.
And then I've had them where
They won't like you can they don't know how to do that themselves, put the IV, or they're afraid to put the IV in the foot because they're afraid she's going to kick it out or something. What?
they're just intimidated.
Yeah.
Maybe it's they don't have the experience or the skill set to do it. It's like she's
Sorry,
like a baby.
I'm being a little
No,
naughty.
no, but these are things like that would kill her. Like a central line would end up causing an infection and it
Infection,
could harm
right.
her, right? I've had nurses that will she had colitis really bad and they were giving her an enema to do this like procedure to scope her, and they came in with this 2,000 ml bag of fluid to put up her bottom, and I was like, pump the brakes, you're gonna kill her. She's a pediatric size patient, you know. Hey, you're gonna perf her bowels and you'll kill her. And so it's like you have to intervene and like really advocate because she doesn't have a voice, she doesn't know.
Right.
And I feel like if she was in a home or if she was just like she'd be dead already, you know.
To be dead, yeah. I mean, it's not enough for you to be an advocate and a caretaker for her. You have to be a nurse
Yeah,
because you really need to know what to
what
do and what these
we
people are
do.
about to do. You
Yeah,
call them on it. It's incredible. It's terrifying.
I do call them on it, which sometimes I try not to be harsh, but you have to if it's
Hey,
gonna
you gotta save.
cause you have to save them. So I
You're
when
trying to
I'm
save her life.
yeah, so when we're in the hospital, we're there for like weeks at a time. I never leave her side. I'm there 100%, but and I do all her nursing care. But that's like I don't want anything to happen to her though, you know.
Yeah. Man, is she lucky. She's so lucky to have you. You're incredible.
It's crazy, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's good. It's amazing. It's such an inspiration. And I just it upsets me that you have to pay out of pocket for anything. But it is the reality, and it seems like right now this is a really bad time as far as money goes, and it's potentially going to get worse.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about how you came up with Ray's Respite Care. I mean, you've already hinted at it a little bit. Maybe you could just talk more directly to it. What was the trigger? When did it happen? And what made you just say this has got to be done?
So it's something I always wanted to do. I just didn't know how to go about it. And so finally I worked really hard the last like 2 years with an attorney to, file all the legal paperwork to I filed for the 501c3. I'm certified in Texas. Um, I did it because I have like a passion to have for Ray to have a place that's like that I can have everything I need for her, but I also want to share it and be able to take on other people and care for them too. Not like a nursing home, but short term relief because respite care is not funded through Medicaid, Medicare insurance. It's a limited resource for individuals. And respite is just simply like a relief, a break, a period of rest. And it's not so like families can go on, leave their special needs member and go have fun. It's like if they have other kids they need to spend time with, it's a place that they have a safe, secure place that they can leave their medically fragile one to have that experience with their other kids, or I know families that will go on separate vacations, the husbands and wife, because one doesn't want to leave their and so people have to still have a
Right.
normal life. You still have to be able to go somewhere and have those relationships with your spouse or your other children without just because my parents did that. My mom and dad took us on vacations where we had a nurse that would watch Ray so that we spent time with my parents separate from
Right.
Ray, not to,
Right.
be mean, but it's just to have that
It's
connection relationship.
Yeah,
And
it's not being mean. It's a reality that parents have to deal with too, being able to be as equitable as possible because the
yeah,
attention does tend to be monopolized, right? So you can't forget your other kids, and so there's nothing mean about that at all.
no. So,
It's
I mean,
reality.
so I would love to have a place that I could provide that respite care
Hmm,
and
incredible.
be able to assist families. And even if it's like you want to go to the grocery store, but
Right, right.
or something simple, a place where you have somebody that can care for your child with the medical expertise and know that they're okay. And skilled nursing care for a family for like 1 week is over $5,000. If more if they require an RN and specialized care.
Makes
So
sense.
my respite care would be, I'm an RN, my husband will be an RN, and I'd love to have, the medical equipment and all that to be able to sustain the resources and care that they need.
So you're not at that place yet.
No,
Where are you? Where are you in the process with
so
raise?
we're like brand new, brand
Hmm.
new. So I, just got my status. I've done like a t-shirt fundraiser. So my goal is to write a letter and get some investors to invest in helping me fund the building of Raise Respite. So I'd love to raise the money to build a house. It's just a
Yes.
small residence and buy the medical equipment, oxygen concentrators, nebs, feeding pumps,
Hmm.
suction, everything that these kids would require, and then be able to function.
How many clients would you imagine being able to be served at a time? Have you
I would probably limit
number
it to like five.
five at a time? Okay.
Just depending on their level of care, you want to be able to still give that quality one-on-one, like in the ER, my ratio is like 4-1. ICU patients are like 2-1. So if you can stay within those means,
Hmm.
you're still providing competent quality care.
Right. Would it be just you and your husband, or you'd be looking to get more
I would
volunteers or
eventually
more or
I
hire
would
more people?
eventually outsource and get some like hire other nurses and helps just so that then it's a community effort.
It's such a great, high-minded, beautiful goal. I think it's incredible. I hope that people will, in my audience, are hearing this and they'll support you because I think that it's something that I think parents understand that they need, and there's not enough services out there and respite for them. Finding time in your day to find that 20 minutes even to breathe every once in a while is really difficult, but so necessary. And
This
so,
necessary.
yeah, and I know how difficult it is for parents to be able to leave their kids and not be able to go and even do things that would necessarily support their kids, go to meetings or conferences and things like that to learn more, let alone just be able to go to a park and take a walk,
Yeah,
for yourself.
yeah.
So that's incredible. Have you been able to speak to anybody in like the legislature or anything like that? Or is anybody with pull that you've been able to connect with at this point that has your back a little bit, or you're still kind of searching for those connections?
I'm searching for those connections, but my husband, as an Army veteran, he has two buddies that are Medal of Honor recipients that are high up in like and we're going to try to get with them to kind of help promote and get on our side to like we're working on all that. I would love to have all that,
Yeah.
to go up to that level. And I think another part is like, so my husband's Army veteran buddy works for Chobani, and Chobani might be sponsoring us, um, or that they might invest in us, I guess. So they do they support, like a cause. And so he's working to get it to go
To be
towards
you.
us. But it's got to be like veterans. So my husband he joined the American Legion. So the goal is like, I mean, it could be, this service could also be for veterans because it's respite for them too. It's not just kids, it's in medically fragile individuals that require. Because when you put disabled, that's like a broad
Yeah,
spectrum. Because
absolutely.
I'm not trying to be mean, but like everybody has a disabled parking sign, right? How do you like can't decipher what's a true disability? Everybody could be disabled. So that's why I say medically fragile. It's people that require like trachs and G tubes and all the medical sides. But if Chobani will sponsor or work with us and support our profit, it's like the mission in that is like veterans caring for disabled is kind of what they're looking at, because it's like
Wow. So the vets would be a part of the care,
I think
not
my
necessarily
husband,
respite, not necessarily respite for them, but they would actually be part of the
they
process
could
and
be a
caring for
part
them.
of the process. Yeah.
What were you going to say? Your husband? I'm sorry.
Oh, I said my husband's like his mission or like his vision of that is like, he has PTSD. He's lost like a lot of Army buddies, but he doesn't like suffer from it, or he says he doesn't. But I think that caring for somebody else is like medicine for him because he doesn't suffer or he's able to function because he has like this this gift to care for somebody. It's like medicine for him, caring
Yeah,
for my
and it's
sister.
like time out. It's like time out of mind too. So you're not
Yes.
focused on your
He's
situation.
not
You're focused on
focused on
something
it.
else. Right.
He's like, I guess I would say it's like healing for him.
I was just going to say, I was, that's
Yeah. It's
exactly the
like,
word I was going to say. It's like a
it's
healing.
healing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. And to be able to give other veterans that opportunity to try to do something that is the antithesis of what their job was when they were in battle or in service. So I love that end of it. What a great, you're serving two communities actually
Yeah.
simultaneously,
Yeah.
which is incredible.
It's a lot. It's
I
a
mean,
leap of faith, but yes.
it's all a leap of faith, right? But that's the only way something like this gets done. And this is necessary. This is the kind of thing that the government needs to recognize and state governments need to recognize. These are the things that are needed. And this is where the money needs to go, right? But again, these are the lost souls in our life, and so we have to keep fighting for them.
We do.
I saw that Texas is talking about like an $8 billion funding increase for schools and special ed, and I'm curious if that's going to pass or if it did pass. But I don't like if that, then that's great. But what happens to, again, once you graduate and you're not in school, where's the funding? So like there needs to be that kind of equal attention, right?
It does. There
And,
does.
and facilitation. You're doing a shirt drive. You do custom shirt.
I did a shirt drive just to start getting our name out there. I mean,
Right.
because until I can get investors, and I have some people that I think would invest in me, but just I want to get my name out there. And so I started with shirts, and we did really well. We raised over $1,000, which is not bad for a
Okay.
beginning. I mean,
Right.
again, I'm a nurse learning how to run a business, so
Of
it's
course.
a mentality that I've never done. So it's like a learning process for me. So fundraising is new to
I can
me.
relate. Trust me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole
As a
different
teacher,
world.
yeah, I didn't have the business mindset. It changes. It the situation necessitates it, and so you just do it, right?
You just do it, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Do
then
you have
and
any
you,
other campaigns that you're considering? I'm sorry. What were you saying? I'm
I
sorry.
said you learn to do it, and you're something I used to be fearful of would be fundraising, but now I'm like I'm
Yeah.
bold about it now
Right.
because
Exactly. Yeah.
you
You
have
get
to have a
brazen. It's just
voice.
you just
You just
go.
do it,
Do you
yeah.
have any other campaigns that you're considering doing, like to raise funds, like a GoFundMe or anything else like that, like an event that you might want to organize to get people to come to?
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. So I started with the t-shirts, and then I'm going to work on some other events to get people in the community. I'd love to do like a run or I think we're going to work with the American Legion to help do a fundraiser, and I'll probably just do another continued shirt fundraiser. I know most people don't want to buy shirts, but it's not about the shirt, it's just about the cause.
No, exactly. But
So
I love the idea of the run. I mean, I'm a runner, but so I love running for the fun of running with friends and things like that. But I love the idea that the money typically goes to a charity. So that would be, I think that would be a great way to be able to
mhm.
do that. And you could do that probably sooner than later too with something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, those are
But then
easier to
even like,
start.
yeah, but then even like just going and being like that, setting up like a vendor table at different events too, like that to get the word out as coming and a wanting to exist organization that
Yeah,
needs your help, right? So I hope that people listening today are willing to be open to this because I think it's an incredibly worthwhile venture, and I'm more than happy to continue to support you here and anything I can do to help spread the word
I
and just
appreciate that.
periodically keep talking about it so we can talk more about how we might be able to work together to do that.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
What are your hopes for Ray at this point? Do you expect to putting her in some sort of facility like an assisted living or a situation? That's not anything that's ever entering the picture. She's going to be with you as long as you're both around.
Yeah,
That's the plan, correct?
I'll never
Do
let her
you
go to a home.
okay. Do you and when I say home, I don't mean like, not in the negative way that it can be interpreted, but you don't need that. It sounds like, which is wonderful. So what kind of goals do you have with her just to kind of sustain and continue to do the things you do with her? And maybe once the respite thing takes off, then maybe you'll have time to be able to travel a little bit more and do more things. What do you envision in the future?
I just am for Ray's personal goal. I want her happiness, have quality of life. It's just, to live. Like one thing for Ray is she was never able to swallow. She doesn't have a swallowing reflex, but the girl has a passion to eat orally, right?
I
She's an
saw,
asper.
I saw that she's eating like a mush. I
Yeah,
think
she
people like,
pureed foods. So they said she could never swallow, and she does not swallow very well. She does it. She works really hard. If you watch her, you'll see her just like continuously swallow.
right.
But it's like her passion in life, and most people would be like, well, that's how she aspirates and gets sick. I know that. So we watch her and monitor, but that's a quality of life aspect for her.
Yeah.
So
Something she enjoys.
it sounds bad to say if it kills her, but I want her to live life every day enjoying it. So, if that's what she loves to do, she deserves to be able to do those things.
Right.
So
But
I
you're
would
if
just,
anybody's there to help her through that moment, it's going to
yeah,
be you.
I'm
I
not going
mean,
to let her choke on it.
I was going to say it's not really a concern
No, I mean, I'll sit there at the table and it probably takes 2 hours for her to eat like applesauce and cream of the wheat and yogurt. But it's the best 2 hours because I know that she's enjoying it. Because I look at her when she watches me and I just think, like, what would it be like if I couldn't have what she can't have? I think so. I feel like you have to almost put your feet in their shoes and, like, kind of, you know, give them those things in the way that is tolerable for them.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
when I say
fair.
mush, when I say mush, I meant like
No, it
melon.
is mush.
It
It's
is mush,
just, it's
but I
super
yeah,
pureed.
great, sure,
Yeah.
absolutely everything. Does she
So
have a
just,
specific? It's like that's her favorite. Do you ever puree anything else for her?
I'll do anything. I
Yeah.
mean, if it's something that we're eating, I have this like special blender that will puree like chicken, everything. Because she can eat baby foods, but baby foods are just so nasty. She doesn't want to eat a baby food. So she loves cheesecake. The girl, I need like the cheesecake. I need the Cheesecake Factory to sponsor her because she loves cheesecake.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
She loves the sweets, and so I
Hmm.
mean, just knowing that she's happy and like or like going out to eat is like another favorite for her. It's like the social experience of walking into a restaurant. She's so proud. She's so excited. She gets to eat something. So
Do you
it's just
bring
not,
the pureed food? Do you bring the pureed food with you to the restaurants?
I'll bring food with us. But if they have like mashed potatoes and gravy, she can eat that as long as it's not chunky. There's no pills in it. So we go to places that are accommodating to something that she could eat. But I would just want her to be happy. But in July, for Christmas, some family members gave us a cruise to Alaska. So she's going on a cruise. We're all going on a cruise. I've
Holy
never
cow,
been.
that's amazing.
Rachel's never been on a cruise. So it's like a big deal for her to be able to go do these things.
Yeah. How do you prepare for something like that with all her medical needs? How do you prepare to, take care of her during a trip like that?
You just have to pack every piece of medical equipment that she requires. That because altitudes affect her, and like when we travel to Colorado, it plummets her oxygen levels, and she like
Ooh,
instantly gets pneumonia. So you just have to prepare for those things to happen. So oxygen has to come, her vest has to come, her feeding tubes, everything. So it's a lot of work, a lot of
hmm.
packing, a lot of preparation, but it's worth it because she
The
gets to have
experience.
the experience. I mean, the
Yeah.
girl's been everywhere and done everything for her
Hmm.
little life. I think I told you when we first talked, we went to Vegas for her 21st birthday. And it was me, my parents, and Ray. And then my parents left, and it was just me and my sister in Vegas for 2 nights together.
Wow.
It was just so fun, like being in Vegas with my best friend.
Yeah. Did you gamble? Did you win?
She loved, no, we didn't win, but she loves the lights of the machines. She loves just walking the strip and watching everybody. So it's just a cool, like I've experienced cool parts of her life because to me, we're just, like I said, we're just sisters. She's my
Yeah.
best friend.
Best friends.
Yeah.
You're lucky to have her, and she's lucky to have you. It's incredible. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about, haven't covered that you'd like to mention? And certainly how people can get in touch with Ray's Respite Care to be able to donate.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, we're new. So the goal is to just start raising funds. We have a website. It's raiserespitecare.org. And it talks about our story. It talks about our vision. And the vision is, to raise the money to build a home, to buy medical equipment, and to maintain the home. And I'm just passionate about it because I truly want people to have respite. I mean, I don't have respite, granted, but eventually it would aid me just because it's something I want to do. That's how it benefits me. It's my passion to do something like that. And it's a place that will have stuff that Ray needs too, which helps us too. So I know it's new and it's hard to get your name out there. Respite is so important because if you talk to most families, it's not it's not sourced from anything. It's something that they have to find on their own time or pay a lot of money to have. And I want this to be free, like little of no cost to all individuals, because
As
having
it
a
should be.
special, it should be. I want it to be, I mean, if I can make it free, I would love that for everybody. Or maybe they pay us like a small, like $50 donation for the week, something, but I want it to be of like little to no cost for families to benefit from this time. So that's where my vision is headed in that aspect. So I'm going to, like I said, I'll do the fundraising. My website has a donation page that if people feel compelled to donate, and then I'll probably do another shirt fundraiser. Just the shirts are cute, but they're simple. They say like RRC with her Bible verse on the back, because you don't want something too much, but it's just so I just like the shirt because then somebody can ask a question like, what is that? What does that mean? Like, or what's that like weird sign? Well, that's her claw. That's her fingers. And then
Right.
people can ask you like, well, what is raised respite care?
Right. Exactly. It gets the conversation started. Well, anybody who's listening who wants to help support this endeavor, but any aspect of it, you want to help start a road race for Ray and you're willing to sponsor that. Cheesecake Factory, if you're listening,
Yeah,
you need to
she
be
would
a
love
sponsor.
you. You would make her life.
Legislators, if you're listening, anyone out there with political pull that's listening, these are the areas where we need the money the most because this is the most underserved aspect of the special needs community. It's the schooling years really need, and respite is so critical to families and way overlooked, as you said. So, I mean, kudos to you for all you do. The fact that
Thank you so much.
you don't feel like you need respite is amazing. And the fact that you want to provide respite for others is amazing. And what a gift you and Rachel give each other on a daily basis. It's a beautiful story. And I am so moved by you. And I feel so fortunate that we got a chance to meet.
I
And
know.
it just, someone
It's
put your,
incredible.
yeah, someone put your site in front of me, your page in front of me, and it was go from there. So, but yeah, anything that we can do, we being me, can do on this end to continue to promote. But we'll stay in touch and we'll keep talking about things like that because I have ideas and we could always maybe try to flesh some stuff out.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for taking the time today. I know it's a hectic schedule, and to squeeze this in, I really appreciate it.
Oh, this was so fun.
Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll be in touch with you very soon.